pulse of the VI. Listen close and you will see why. The information will set you free. Stand together, never divide. Pulse VI.
We are here. We are live. Good afternoon to
It's
everybody.
Saturday.
It is Saturday. How are you?
I'm great, I think.
I think.
Yeah.
Why you think?
It's been a crazy hot week.
It's been hot. It
Oh
has
my
been
God. And then we had the 1 year anniversary of
hot.
our...
Very depressing. Yes.
So, a lot of people are going through... Did you go to any of the 1 year Thanksgiving celebrations?
I went to the one at government.
Okay.
At the
How was
Central
that?
Administration building. It was cool.
Okay.
I only stayed until I was late. First off, I was late. I couldn't leave my office.
Okay.
I was late, and then I got there. I heard Andrew speak. I heard the governor speak, and I heard the premier speak. After the premier spoke, I left.
Okay.
So I
How
didn't
was
see
the
unveiling.
attendance?
It wasn't bad. They had like a tent, but all the chairs were filled, and they had people standing at each of the trees for shade.
Okay, nice.
So
You
it
mean the
wasn't-
2 little trees? Because we don't...
They got some trees,
Oh,
and
they got some,
I
okay.
guess what's the place that gives you the green place that we have? National Parks Trust. National
okay.
Parks Trust.
Okay.
Gave them some, provided some decorative, big, those big
The
potted
big-
plants.
yeah.
Yeah, so they have I remember the palm trees in the admin complex survived.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
remember the little sturdy ones
Yeah.
that are in the, so we were underneath there. You saw people with umbrellas, but it was okay.
Okay, how was the unveiling? Because I heard they unveil a plaque.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't stay. I guess that
Okay.
happened at the end or the beginning. I
Okay.
wasn't there for it. But
Yeah.
the speeches were interesting.
In what way?
Interesting. Well, I should just say Andrew's speech was interesting. The
Okay.
governor gave a speech that you would expect the governor to give.
Right.
Then who else? Then the premier gave a speech that the premier would give.
Okay.
And then you had Andrew preaching.
Well,
You understand? He got there today. No. God. We ain't scared of nobody. But Irma, she showed us.
Wow.
So I was like,
Okay.
okay. I mean, I got it. People felt it. I was
Yeah.
like, okay. But at the same time, it's like, but people like the church thing. People like the,
we're a churchy type
people
community.
but they already had a pastor there who was there. They had a minister, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't know. And he got up there and literally said, I wrote a speech, but I'm not going to read that speech today.
Oh, maybe
And he went
something
on
moved inside
Yeah,
of
something
him.
moved in.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
I mean, and I respect that. Speak from your heart or whatever. But at the same time, it was I don't know. It was cool, but at the same time, it was just, for me, it was just a little too much,
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
here
Well,
or there, I don't know. It was okay though. It was overall, it was cool, and the trees were decorated by YEP students.
Oh,
So
nice.
that was a nice touch as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't go to any of the Thanksgiving celebrations.
Right.
Yeah, I just didn't.
I don't know. I didn't. That week was just a tough week for me personally.
I could
just
imagine
didn't-
a tough week for a lot of people.
Yeah, so I couldn't even imagine. And then people, mourning the lives of the persons who they lost. And
Yeah.
that was also very sad.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm glad to be over it, even though we have stuff coming for us next week.
Let's not talk about that. Oh gosh.
I don't know. I just want us to get a break.
I do too, but we're in the heat of the season, so
Forget the season. I almost said
persons.
that.
All I could say is everyone prepare. It's best to be
Honestly.
prepared.
Get your
pack your
kits.
little kits, get them together. I'm gonna be working on mine. So hopefully by Monday I will have it together.
Yeah, I'm halfway through. All I have to do is get the canned goods and stuff like I did. Those helped last year.
Oh God, I don't do that's my biggest thing.
We
I
had
would
to, we didn't
probably
have.
die of hunger because I can't get the can thing going.
And we got bread too. We got some bread and
And
stuff
I'm off
like
the
that.
bread.
I know, I'm on my diet. That's the crazy part. We're on our diets, but what's gonna happen when God forbid anything happens?
Oh,
do we
Lord.
forget the diet or just be like?
I know. The trainer at the gym said, if you have to, you'll eat it. And I'm like, oh my God, my brain don't work like that though. Because like when I shut it down, it's like, I ain't gonna eat it.
And
yeah.
and then mine's actually, and I've only been doing it a week now,
Yeah.
a week and some change now. And we had a Thanksgiving celebration at Bank of Asia. They invited us back because we were there. We moved back to our offices. We went back in
Lovely.
there. And we had Mr. Malone, Mead Malone pray. He prayed. He spoke. It was very nice. And then we had food. Now they had saltfish, Johnny cake, sweet buns, egg,
All the
these
good
things.
stuff, eh?
So I'm like, are we all on a diet? They're like, today's cheat day. But I took a little bite of the sweet bun, and I couldn't eat it. I couldn't eat the rest.
You feel guilty, right?
I felt
do.
so
Oh,
bad.
I do. I feel like, oh my God, I'm sinning, and I know it it and I need to stop. So
Honestly,
yeah.
I still feel bad from that chocolate I just ate from Shane.
And that was really tiny. I
took
think
the
you'll be
smallest
okay.
one, I don't know.
I think you'll be okay. You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
It's okay because I lost 2 pounds this week.
Good girl. I won't say how much I've lost, but yeah.
I lost 2 pounds.
All I know
so
is
that's
my son says, stop. Don't lose any more. And I don't want to lose any more because I'm at the weight where I want to be.
It's just a toning.
But it's like, this stomach won't go nowhere. I don't understand what to do. Like, I just don't understand it. And the guy is like, well, I need to know what you're doing when you go home after the gym. But I feel like I don't eat much when I go home. It's usually fruits or vegetables, and I may sneak a cracker or something.
You don't eat anything.
Right. So I don't know what it is. I wonder if it's hereditary. I need to speak to my parents. Let me look at their genes and see what's going on, because
You can't do gene stuff nowadays. though.
I'm just over it. Stomach needs to go away.
But-
But what else is new?
No, okay, so yesterday, a rapper, Mac Miller, passed away.
Yeah, I see everybody posting that.
Yeah, that
is
one was kind of,
so,
it kind of hit me.
Came
You
out
know,
of-
like certain celebrity stuff kind of hit you.
Yeah.
That was one of the ones that hit me because I genuinely just enjoyed the guy's music. And
Wow.
there's not a lot of white rappers that I actually like.
Yeah, there's
You know,
there's only a few of them anyway.
There's a lot of them now.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Well, they're not good.
He's
all
one
that.
of the ones that I liked. And
Yeah.
then I don't know, it just kind of, he was 26.
Wow, that's a baby still.
And an overdose. So there's a lot of, and then he's been one of those artists that have been publicly open about their anxiety issues and
Yeah,
depression issues, all the
yeah,
mental
yeah.
issues that they've had, things they've been struggling with, and they,
That's
they're
a
like,
serious.
I need help.
Yeah,
but
it's serious.
it's, I don't know. And then I think two posts that stood out to me the most from fellow celebrity friends of his were, first off, Big Sean. And this kind of hits me because whenever someone dies, I always go on my social media and see, I hope I didn't, there's a
Right.
message I didn't respond to from them. There's a friend request I didn't accept, stuff
Right.
like that. So Big Sean posts, he's like, I've been on a social media. I can't believe this. You messaged me just last week and I'm only now seeing it after you died.
Yeah,
That's insane.
it's the world we live in. It's
And
sad.
it's just really, really crazy.
It's sad.
And I don't know. And then he was with Ariana Grande, and then a month later they broke up in May,
Yeah.
and in June she was engaged with somebody else.
We're not going to go about the celebrity and their love life.
So there's like a lot of
pain there for him because
for him, I mean, he's
that's
gone,
a month.
He's gone now, but it's always the people they leave behind.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure, despite whatever, however they ended, they
Yeah.
said there was an amicable ending.
Yeah.
But at the same time, how do you live with the fact that the person you loved for a couple of years, the person you've been with, is no longer on this earth?
Yeah, it's yeah.
Man,
It's the reality to life, unfortunately. It's sad.
I don't know. It really
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah.
I don't know. And then still sticking to celebrity news because y'all know this.
I know you
like
want
the
to stick to
gossip.
celebrity, but before you go there, let's just, because I know you
Yeah.
have a whole lot to
I
talk
do.
about with your story, but we're going to talk a little bit about Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick, yeah.
I'm telling you, Nike. And it's like taken off on social media. They have a Nike infomercial for
Thing.
everybody. They
No,
have
and
one
people
for
have been
Trump,
using, people
one
have
for
been using
everything.
it's turned into a meme overnight.
Yes,
so
overnight.
it's a meme where the people put their faces, put the black and white, put the Nike
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But it's so disappointing. It's so disappointing to see that the human race has turned into like, they just keep proving how low they are and how disgusting they are, because
Yeah.
if you're sitting here and you're chastising a whole race or chastising a whole person
Mm-hmm.
because of their opinion and the way they want to live, you need to stop.
Yeah. But
You
I,
need to
I
stop.
think Nike has brought it to such a forefront, and they did it in such a way that it's like,
Nike's
if
smart.
anyone else had did it, it would have been shut down. But because it's Nike, and all the haters out there, they're like, well, I'm going to give away all my Nike and blah, blah, blah.
No, they have been
Nike,
stores that stops literally.
Nike don't care. They are going to make money.
They are going to make money, but at the same time, it speaks to the organizations that are literally cutting Nike. There's a whole football, like in the town in the school I went to school, the state I went to school in Missouri. So basically, a town couple miles away, Branson. So the school came out with a statement basically saying they're dropping Nike from their athletic thing. And a lot of these schools use Nike products. It's Nike or Adidas.
Well, you know what? I believe the statement, you got to stand for something and believe in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And someone wrote on their social media page, NFL thought they were going to starve Colin Kaepernick, but God prepared a table in the presence of his enemies. Isn't that like so real?
That is, and even so with the NFL isn't saying anything bad about him now. It's come to a point now, it looks like the NFL has learned their lesson and it looks like they're coming back around. So who's really losing? Trump. Who's really losing? Sorry to say this, y'all know I love white people. Y'all know me.
Listen
But
to
this
her. I
is for
love
y'all.
white people.
No, but this is
But
for,
look at,
you know.
But look at how she said it. She looked at me.
Yeah, because I know what I'm saying. I know how this goes. You
She's
know?
like looking at me
I
and,
know how
and,
this goes.
and saying, y'all know I,
because
love
I don't, I have to say it. I have to say it so you don't come at, you're like,
No. I know you do.
So because I like
You
everybody.
like human being. You just want the world to be a peaceful place. She
I
does.
honestly do. I really want kumbaya, and I want just peace and harmony, I want everyone to, because people out there dying, and it doesn't really matter. If I watch the news every day, someone's dying, there's kids dying. They don't think about the race. They don't think about any of
It's
these
usually
things.
when they get
They're
older
dying,
or
but
else what
here
they're
you-
taught.
Yeah, so here you being selfish, and then when I see all these whatchamacallit, all these posts of black and white kids talking about they love each other. This is my best friend. You know, why does it have to be, this is my best friend? Because they just be friends. Just don't stop seeing the skin color.
We're in. The world we're in.
I don't know.
But then go on to your story before we go to break. Go ahead, because I know it's important. Get it out there, girl.
I mean, it's not even a matter out there. I mean, it's Nicki and Cardi B. Nicki and Cardi B. First of all, people have been making memes talking about that is not a good idea, like KNOT, and I think it's been the funniest thing. So they've been making jokes on Cardi, but at the same time, I've always had this respect for Cardi B because even she's one of the most wretched people.
Yeah, her come up has been real. You know what I mean?
No, but the thing is, she's worked hard.
She worked hard.
Even so, she hasn't changed.
Yeah.
The same person she was when she was on them reality shows, the same person she is now. She's never said that she's
true to herself.
So
that's
if
for
she
sure.
go out there try and pull up on somebody and try and fight you for it, that's who she is.
Yeah, she's true to who she is.
So Nicki, this is what I don't, lately, since her album came out, a lot of people have been saying, her album flopped. First of all, her album flopped. It didn't have the big impact that she wanted. So she went on all these radio shows. She does,
she's done a whole big promo.
But in all these promos, she's just blasting and ending up on all her radio shows that she's been on has ended up in the news because she's either blasting somebody, saying this or saying that or whatever. So now my thing is, y'all been having beef for months. Everyone who knows, they've been having beef for months, right? Then you go to a fashion event yesterday, and then I guess this is what they're saying is Cardi, and you can even hear in the recording Cardi say, "You could something with me, but don't you like nothing about my daughter? Don't you something about my daughter?"
Wow,
whatever, right?
she hit the wrong button.
Yeah, that's what she's like. Do anything to me, but not my kid. And I respect.
There are a lot of people that once you bring their kids or their moms into it, it's all done.
Like I can't like that is what, but. Nicki didn't fight. Nicki didn't fight. Gangster Nicki rapper didn't fight. You know how she's always said, "I'll pull up on you. I'm from the Bronx." You know, she didn't fight. So the Spanish and Cardi B came out. So Nicki's friend came in, from my understanding, and Blake is saying the security guard gave her the knot on her head. So them say, or it was the friend, but she fought the friend, is what they're saying. She didn't fight Nicki. So here's Nicki today.
Because Nicki hid behind.
She probably did. She was running for her dear life, but we don't know because she's been posting
Cardi
pictures.
B is crazy.
She's been posting pictures like I'm a fashion week. So I don't know, Blake. You look like you want to say something.
Chime in, Blake.
All I want to say is Nicki need to realize that her demographic has shifted and she is not young anymore. Nicki been in the same.
That's what I said. Grow up.
She needs to step aside.
She does.
It's time to grow up.
She does, and she needs to just let it be. Because I mean,
it's all
people
about
were
her.
like that for when she started. So it's a shame that she would be doing this to somebody else and another
she just
woman.
wants to remain relevant. Some people are afraid when they're no longer the it. That's what it is.
As soon as you said that, I'm thinking first. Today you have Cardi B. Couple minutes ago, whenever it was, you had Nicki. Then before you had Lil Kim.
Yeah.
But you see Lil Kim and Nicki don't get along.
Don't
now
get
Nicki
along.
and Cardi don't get along.
Yeah.
So I wonder who Cardi's not gonna get along with.
Well, Cardi could not get along with a lot of people. That's easy.
I know, but everyone loves Cardi. Y'all see, everyone loves Cardi.
We all love her, yes. She has that crazy personality that just draws you in.
And we'll be right back.
Pulse VI.
And we are back, you guys. We are here with coolest name ever, first of all, before I introduce you. Samuel Jackson Husband, also known as Jack Husband.
Yes, that's what
Welcome.
everyone knows him as,
I
right?
know.
They're like, who is Samuel?
I know, and then Samuel Jackson. Do you ever
It's
just
such a
try
cool
to
name.
Samuel Jackson? That's the kind of cool
Is
name.
there
Welcome.
a story behind that name?
Not really. That's the name I had, but I had it before the other one was
Was
relevant.
born.
Oh, okay. So he stole your name and make it famous.
But U.S. immigration officers always ask me about it.
Oh, wow. I could imagine.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So welcome to the show. How are you?
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm fine. How are you?
Not too bad.
Good.
The man of many hats.
I'm glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you. So you're here to talk to us about the Insurance Tribunal,
Yeah,
which was formed after Irma,
that's correct.
right? So give our listening audience, our pulsars, a little history about what the tribunal does,
What it is.
what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, whether they need to check in,
Yeah.
something.
So what do we need to know?
Well, thank you. I like the name Pulsars. I like that one. Yeah, the tribunal was commenced by legislation in December last year.
Okay.
After the hurricane, I think it was around the 15th of December, and it was formally set up and started running from January.
Okay.
Its purpose, it arose out of claims arising from Irma and also Maria,
Okay.
where policyholders, people who had insurance policies with the relevant insurance companies, if you had a dispute with your insurance company, or you suspected there may be a dispute,
Okay.
you could bring the matter to the insurance tribunal.
Okay.
And the purpose of the tribunal, it had a number of objects to enable to settle disputes, really, basically to settle disputes with between an insurance company and the insurance and the insured.
Payment.
And the
So,
insurer.
yeah.
Okay. Good, good. So if you could give us an idea as to like what type of, how many disputes you've received in the
Since, yeah.
short, what, 9
Couple
months,
months, yeah.
9 months since it's been active?
We've received 49 so far.
Okay,
Okay.
49 so far.
Yeah, we
and
received 49. Most have been property insurance. I think about 44 have been property insurance.
okay,
3 have been motor.
okay,
There's 1 that was marine.
okay.
And there's 1 that has been business interruption arising from property damage.
Oh, okay.
Not actual property damage, but business
Right,
interruption.
right.
So we've had 49 in all so far.
Okay, and have all been settled as yet, or some of them are still in?
No, we've settled about
Resolution
40. We have about 8 in the pipeline.
Okay, great.
The most recent ones are still in the pipeline.
Okay,
But almost all the others have been settled. We've
And-
managed to settle about 40.
okay, and
It's still a lot, though, yeah.
Yeah,
How long
I
does
mean,
it take you to
Oh,
settle a dispute?
That's a good question. One we settled last week. We had it since February. So it
oh
took
wow,
about-
so it varies.
Couple months.
Yeah, it took a few
Yeah.
months to settle, about 7 months to settle.
Okay, and basically,
6
is
and a
it
half months. Some we've settled in about 2 weeks.
okay?
Yeah.
So, in settling the dispute, I guess that means you're negotiating with both the insurer and the insurance company, and then you find it's like kind of like a mediation where you find common ground and you say, okay, this is where they're going to meet you. I meet you there, and we resolve it.
Yes,
And
that's what happened.
has persons been satisfied? The insurers?
I think so. It's difficult
Okay.
to say, but
Yeah.
I think people have been satisfied. We've got some feedback that people have been satisfied.
Okay.
But we don't negotiate ourselves. What we do, the parties are negotiating. We try to bring them together.
Mm-hmm.
We try to facilitate the negotiations by requesting information or making suggestions.
Okay.
Like if a person has a claim that's really, ridiculously high or whatever, or it is really not well put together, we could have suggested that person, look, you really can't claim for loss of rent
Okay.
because that wasn't part of the policy.
Right,
Right.
right,
You know.
right,
Or you have to, the policy says it's a deductible of 2%.
right.
So you can't get 100% of the claim. You have to
Okay.
leave 2% back on the table.
Okay.
That's what the policy says.
Right.
So things like that we would draw to people's attention to bring them to reality,
Okay.
to get them closer together.
Okay.
But we try to get the insurance companies to understand to what their responsibility is. At the end of the day, if the parties still can't come together, what we do, we fix a mediation.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just thinking that it's like
Yeah.
arbitrage, like
Yeah.
being a
It
mediate.
is.
Yeah.
It is. The only thing we don't have coercive powers in an arbitration. The arbitrator can make orders and so on.
Right.
We don't make orders. We bring the parties together, facilitate the mediation, and we make suggestions one way or the other, and we try to bring the parties together, and it tends to work.
Okay.
Where you give up the worst aspects of your claim, the aspects of your claim that you couldn't follow through with, and the insurance company removes those objections that it couldn't follow through with.
Okay.
Both parties were bluffing, so once we
Right.
come, there's no need to bluff. You try to get to the
Resolve it,
Right.
right?
get to a resolution. So we try to do that.
Okay.
Bringing the parties together, and it normally works. Sometimes it takes long to get to that stage.
I could imagine.
How long? Since you're saying, let's use the example that you used. You said it started in February, and it
February.
just last week.
Yes.
It was finished last week. So how long did it take to get to that stage?
Well, that went to mediation, but it still wasn't settled. There was still
Okay.
something outstanding because that claim was unusual. It wasn't your normal
Right.
policy. It was a policy in which that was a motor policy where the insured person wanted to repair the vehicle, and the insurance company said, "No, we will repair it," which you don't normally get. Normally, you will
Right.
get a check.
Right.
The car owner will get a check, and they'll
Yeah.
go to do the repairs.
Yeah.
But the insurance company said, "We will do it." We looked at that, and under the policy, the insurer was entitled to do that. The
Okay.
insurer could actually carry out the repairs itself
Right.
if it thinks it can do it more
Yeah,
cheaply, for
yeah,
example.
yeah,
So that was
That's
a
interesting.
sticking
Yeah.
point. Then the sticking point was whether the deductible applied
Right.
if the insurance company was actually carrying out the repairs. So that was another point. So it had a lot of points in it, and it really took a
I
little bit
tell
longer.
you, wow.
But
That's
necessary.
interesting.
And I'm quite sure, I'm quite sure, listen to you explain that and what I've heard of other persons, I'm quite sure that other persons may have been in that situation and felt they had no recourse. You know what I mean? Because they probably didn't understand that that was something that they could have brought to the tribunal.
Yeah.
So they gave in to the insurance company.
That's quite true. That's why we're grateful for a forum like this where we could publicize the
Yeah.
existence and the work and the jurisdiction of the tribunal
Mm-hmm.
so that people will be aware of it and they will use the services. They will know
there.
that they will know that there's an option to use the services. Even
Right.
if they don't, they'll know that they were entitled to use the services.
Right,
So
right.
that's why we're grateful for programs like this.
Yeah, definitely because, I think when I heard the tribunal, and I guess because I didn't understand the whole realm of what is covered, I'm amazed because, like I said, I've heard so many persons with stories, especially about automobiles,
Yeah.
where like the blue book value was this,
Yeah.
and the insurance company depreciate, and they end up with $1,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And persons probably didn't know that that was something they could have brought to the tribunal.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we want our pulsers and the listening audience to understand is that the tribunal will stay around until
For
I
how
know
long? How
that
many
there's
years?
no set time frame.
That's
But
correct.
do you foresee it being around for at least into next year, or
Yes.
what do you anticipate?
Possibly. It's to settle current claims arising out of Irma.
Right.
Now, I suspect most of those claims have been settled already.
Okay.
So there's only so many claims that are still outstanding.
Right.
Of course, nobody knows. We don't know.
Right.
So once those claims are finished, then the tribunal's work will come to an end.
Okay.
So I expect that perhaps in a few months, as those claims, because we are now into the new hurricane
Right.
season.
New hurricane season. Right.
So those claims will be settled and resolved within the next 3 months. So by the end of the year, I think most of the Irma claims
Right.
that could have been settled.
Okay.
The ones that haven't been settled would have been either referred to arbitration or litigation,
Okay.
but they will be in a formal process.
Okay, so
Okay.
so the tribunal is just for Hurricane Irma.
And Maria.
So- Maria,
Okay,
yeah.
and Maria. So let's say, God forbid something happens soon.
Yeah.
God forbid, let me just knock on wood right there. God forbid something happens soon, and someone wants to file a claim with you guys or something
Yeah.
like that, it wouldn't apply because it's not from Irma or Maria.
Well, we'd have to get our remit extended.
Right. They'll have to get it
Oh.
extended.
We'd have to get our remit extended.
Okay.
Because
okay.
we're not a perpetual body that goes on. It was
Right.
an extraordinary tribunal that was
Right.
set up because of the extraordinary circumstances.
But wouldn't it be, because my thinking is, wouldn't it be like a good idea now to actually make the insurance tribunal just general for things like this?
Yes, I was thinking
That
the
way,
same thing. Like
every
it
time
seems like it
something
needs to be
happens-
around.
Yeah, because I'm thinking God forbid again, something else happens, this has to go through legislation again. The legislation would have to be amended once
Right.
more, which also takes time. So
Yeah.
we need to make kind of wouldn't it help people better if this is something that's there all the time?
Yeah,
Right.
that's an idea, actually. That's an idea. I think I'm going to make a note of that.
Please
Yeah.
do, because I'm thinking that, I mean,
With
the
everything
insurance
happening, yeah.
disputes just doesn't come out of Irma and Maria. There could be other
All the time,
instances
yeah.
that, situations that persons are having ongoing issues with insurance companies. Because we know how insurance companies operate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want to collect, but never want to pay.
Right.
So I'm quite sure prior to Irma and Maria, persons were having difficulties with settling claims with the insurance company. I think it just, came to a more visible,
Yeah. An arena, basically.
right,
They could
because
see,
of
yeah.
Irma and Maria and the volume.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm quite sure that this is something that persons would like to have around. I mean, I would like to have that assurance around that if I have an
Yeah.
issue, there's somebody I could go knocking on that door on. So definitely take your note on that.
Because it's a surety. That's something. That's kind of like a safe. We need something safe that whenever something like this happens,
Right.
there's a committee already in place.
Yeah.
For this, and we don't have to wait months for a legislation. Because
Right.
I'm pretty sure they thought about this right after the hurricane, but it didn't get to happen until December.
December,
Because
right.
that's how these things work. So that's a yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. And maybe the people who direct policy will take that into account, because we're going to make a report at the end of, we make quarterly reports.
Okay.
And who do these reports go to?
Go to the Financial Services Commission.
FSC, okay.
We're set up
Okay.
under the FSC.
Oh, okay.
So our reports go to the FSC, the managing director of the FSC,
Right.
and the most senior staff. So we will make a report when our remit actually comes to an end, when our jurisdiction and our time comes to an end. We will make a final report.
Okay.
So we will include these things in our report, and probably the policymakers may have a decision as to
Right.
whether they will extend this or create a permanent tribunal or have some other mechanism to resolve those disputes with insurance companies. And one of the major problems that has led to this was, two main problems really. One was the value you place on your property.
Right.
What value do you place?
Yeah.
Some people thought it was the market value, what you would be able to sell it for.
Okay.
But it's not the market value, it is what is called the value at risk, or the
Okay.
replacement value.
Okay.
What it would take to rebuild
replace it, right.
So people were wrong-footed on that, because they had it, if your property is worth $1 million, you had it insured for $1 million or maybe less than that, but it may cost 1.2 to replace it.
Right. One of the things that I want to ask is the tribunal does the tribunal have any plans to go out and do any education
Yes.
for future or even current? Because like for me, I just received my renewal
Yeah.
because my insurance is up in 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Right, and in this lovely renewal letter, I mean, they did a great job this time. Last time they just sent me the renewal paper, but this time they give me a breakdown. I need to get a new appraisal because I haven't had one in a certain
Right.
amount of years. My policy
Historically, people haven't really paid a lot of
Right.
attention to that. Maybe people didn't understand.
right,
Yeah.
and my policy has increased by double.
Yeah.
Right? So they break down all this thing. They even tell me what's underinsured, which is one of the things that I want you to speak of, because a lot of persons don't understand how underinsurance works. And I mean, my insurance company was kind enough to even include how it works, give me a whole breakdown of how they calculate it and what I would get paid and stuff like that. Is that something that is would be the remit of the tribunal? I know it's not the remit right now, but if it's an ongoing tribunal,
It's a possibility. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
because persons are feeling that they're getting somewhat robbed. Like for me, my insurance has just gone up by double. You're telling me I need to get an appraisal. That's another whatever that cost, and I just lost 2% of my insured value as
Your deductible.
the deductible. So you're kicking me triple time while I'm down. You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
I won't put it quite like that, but
But that's how I felt, because I'm like, oh my God, I just lost this amount. My insurance has doubled, and you tell me get a new appraisal all at one time.
Yeah.
So I mean, people need to understand. I think there needs to be more education around it. people need to understand how to value their property, how to, a lot of people that I know didn't even have contents insurance. I had contents insurance, but a lot of persons that I know didn't even have that. So I mean, and the insurance companies, I mean, I don't think that they did a good enough job in advising the public,
Or educating the public.
right, when they were purchasing insurance. So is that something that the tribunal see as one of their remit to make sure that the public understands what to do going forward? Because I don't think, you know, we're in
Well, I would
hurricane-
say this. I would say that this program, and I thank you again for this,
No problem.
and this program is part of what we're trying to do. And we have a public outreach now. We started already going to churches, Sundays, where we could get a lot of people. We'll be putting flyers in supermarkets.
Okay.
We had an ad in the bulletin board on one of the radio stations, for
and you could
example.
also have an ad on Pulse VI.
You can,
Okay,
yeah.
well, thanks for that. Thanks
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, you
Thank
can. So while you write that down, we're going to cut for a quick break and we'll come back and you'll tell us more about the Insurance Tribunal. So
Yeah.
we'll be right back.
Pulse VI.
And we are back, Pulse VI. And if you're just
Yes.
tuning in, we are joined by Mr. Jack Husbands, who's been very, very, very
Informative, yeah.
today.
Very
Yeah,
much
because we're
so.
learning things about the Insurance Tribunal. I didn't even
That
know.
I needed to know in January when I was like fighting with the insurance company. You know what I mean? Like, so that I think people needed to know that they had that leverage. You know
Yeah,
what
they
I'm
have
saying?
the
To at least
opportunity,
push
yeah.
back. Some persons were just eager to just get started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, so.
Well, I hope it's not too late. I hope it's not too late.
I'm
for that.
hoping. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping not. I guess what we need to find out is we don't know what percentage of the claims have already been settled in the territory in the whole.
Overall, you mean?
Yeah,
No,
like just curious.
I think I heard one of the insurance companies, one of the managers of the insurance companies on another aspect of the media saying the other day that he thought that 90% had been settled or something
Okay,
like that.
so you
But-
10% out there, if you have an issue
Contact,
with,
yeah.
please connect. We'll have Mr. Husbands give us all their contact details before the show is over.
Yeah.
But yes, this is your opportunity
To get
in, because, you know, if you could fight,
Might as well
every
do
little
it.
dollar helps, I'm telling you.
It does.
Yeah.
And also, how many persons are on this committee on the tribunal?
yeah, that's a good one.
There are 5 persons on the committee. There's Mr. Everett O'Neill,
Okay.
Mrs. Violet Gold, Mrs. Isis Malone, and Mrs. Eleanor Smith.
Okay.
And Mrs. Rhonda Hodge Smith
Okay.
is the secretary or registrar of the tribunal.
Okay. Okay.
And yourself as the chairman.
Myself. as
And
the
how
chairman.
often do you guys meet? On a
Well,
regular
Our
or?
regular meetings are every other Wednesday.
Okay.
But we have extraordinary meetings to accommodate parties.
Okay.
Or if the business, we have a lot of business and we didn't get through it, we will throw in another meeting so we could keep current and
Okay.
get the business disposed of.
Great. So part of your investigations, like when someone comes and bring a claim, do you go out and kind of like assess the property or the vehicle, or else you just go off of the estimates that
Yeah,
were
we
received?
just go off of the documents.
Okay.
Yeah, I was mentioning our remit at the beginning. Our remit is to receive and investigate reports from insured persons who are aggrieved by a decision of the insurer with respect to any claim
Okay.
they file, to mediate between the insurer and the insured with the objective of enabling an amicable settlement
Okay.
and advising the insured of his or her options in the event that the insurer and the insured are unable to reach a settlement, and finally, to submit a written report to the Financial Services Commission outlining the matters we've received and how we've disposed of them.
Which are
Okay.
the quarterly submissions.
Yeah, the quarterly submission, then we'll do a final report at the end.
Okay, so
Okay.
when you submit the reports to FSC, do they come back and let you guys know? Because I'm assuming, do you put recommendations in there in the reports, or you just report on exactly what's happened?
Basically report on the factual aspects of what happened, how many claims we had, how we
Oh, okay.
disposed of them.
Okay.
We also draw to the FSC any issues we've had, any problems you think there were, and so on.
Right.
And they've come back to us on one of the reports but I suspect we will complete the process and submit a final report, and then
Get the full.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
So far, do you have like a lot of lessons learned, or you know?
Oh yeah, tons of lessons. One is education. I want
Okay.
the public know what you were mentioning just now. The underinsurance.
Yeah.
People weren't.
Can you explain
quite
that?
insured.
Can you explain that a little bit so that persons understand?
Yes. If your property, if the replacement value, not the market value, not what you would sell it for,
Okay.
what you would have to pay to reinstate it, to rebuild it, so that if the reinstatement or replacement value is $1 million,
Okay.
and you have it insured for $500,000, and you have a claim for $200,000, you would only get 100,000.
Right.
You would get 50%. You had it insured for 50%
Right.
of its replacement value, so you would only get 50% of what you've claimed.
Okay. So let's say, like for instance, right after Hurricane Irma, someone's
Yeah.
house was. So I'm trying to understand because after Hurricane Irma was kind of like a special.
Yeah, event.
Kind of special. So I don't understand like how you could tell someone that their property is underinsured. When the insurance company for year and year renew it and said nothing, aren't they at somewhat held accountable half of it? You know what I'm saying? Like I just felt like there should have been.
Half is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm just feeling like. You can't penalize me alone. Like, aren't you duly also accountable for not making sure that I insured it correct? I mean, because they
That's
send these
true.
contracts with some, like I told you, this is the first year they send me a nice, lovely letter, you know.
I'm sure no-
Every year they send me one little piece of paper with how much I got to pay. They never gave me no breakdown or nothing before.
Well, some insurance companies had been sending with your renewal bill, your
Okay.
premium renewal bill, they will send a little letter
Right.
which says, look, you should consider upgrading your
Your-
values because
Okay.
people probably never took it seriously or never really read it.
Right.
I would imagine
throw it away.
maybe 1 in 100 people, 1% of people probably read
Probably
their
read
policies.
it, right.
Nobody read their policies.
Right.
Nobody understood under insurance until Irma became a buzzword.
Right.
And that happens everywhere in the States.
Of
where
course.
in certain cities where you have insurance,
Yeah.
people learn about it for the first time. But when you learn about it, you really learn about it.
Right.
That's true.
That's the crazy
Right.
part.
And I mean, I've owned a house in the U.S. and it was a little different for me because one thing about the U.S. is that they have like a whole scale in how they value property and
Okay,
stuff like that.
okay.
So every year when you get your renewal, they adjust it accordingly based on that scale. So if property values in your area went up, your insurance automatically went up. So the price, so you never really had to stress as much as here. But one of the things that I want to know if the tribunal will do with their education is there was a lot of people that were never insured. Like they've owned their properties, already paid the bank out, so they didn't own the bank, so they felt like
I'm not
I
gonna
paid
put no-
insurance 30 years, nothing ever happened, I'm
Yeah.
canceling insurance.
Did you just
What
have
do
to
you
get
say to those
reinsured?
persons? Well, they have to start over because they have to rebuild their house from scratch with their pockets.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we had some of those people. We wouldn't have known about them because they wouldn't
Right.
have made claims because
Right.
there was no insurance.
Right.
Right.
They wouldn't have made claims, so we
Right.
wouldn't have dealt with those people.
But in terms of
But we're
educating
sure-
them
yes.
going forward,
Yes.
what message do we have to tell those persons?
Well, people should, I mean, it's your choice whether
Yeah.
you decide to have insurance or
Right.
not.
Right.
Some people deliberately want to be self-insured, want to take that risk on themselves. It's how you
Until
manage
something
risk.
happens.
Some people feel, well, instead of paying the premiums to the insurance company, I'll just put the money aside.
Aside,
So
right.
that if anything happens, I'll just pay it out to what I would have.
Right.
People may have all sorts of,
Their own little.
or some people may figure that if they pray hard enough, they wouldn't get damaged
Right,
or whatever.
right.
So people may have their own risk mitigation
Right.
procedures.
Okay.
But certainly insurance is a good way to mitigate your risk because you pool your risk with the
Other-
insurance companies
yes.
and therefore you get something, not all of what you get.
Right.
The other thing is upping your values every 2 years or
Every
every
2
3
years. Yes, that's what they told
So
me.
that's a recommendation. To
Yes,
up
that
your-
was
up
that was
the
in the
value of
letter.
your- Okay.
That
I
I
must say I don't fully understand. Don't fully understand the concept of average myself because I thought myself that if your property costs $1 million to replace completely, and you had $200,000 in damage, but you were insured for $500,000. That your insurance would cover that.
That's what I thought too. That's how I understood it. But when they break it
but
down
there's
to
a provision in the policy,
Right.
in almost every policy that I've seen, in every policy I've seen, I've been looking to see if we've looked at a lot of policies. There's
Okay.
49 so far,
Okay.
and I haven't found a policy without an average clause in it.
Okay.
So the policies all contain.
They
this
contain it.
average
It's just
clause.
that person's never read it.
Or read it and
Or
didn't understand.
didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, folks, we all need to read our policies. If we don't
Read the
understand,
fine print,
yes, if we don't
essentially.
understand, is that something that the tribunal can assist with, making sure persons understand, like
Educational
like someone pick
yeah.
up their policy and they're like, I don't know what this means.
No, not as the tribunal is presently constituted.
Not your
because
current remit.
Right.
That's not within our current remit.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have to be something
It has
for
to be a
the
whole
tribunal
side,
in
yeah.
the future, or for
Okay.
another body, or maybe that will be part of the legislation that will come out of the Irma claims that the government will stipulate. That,
Okay.
there must be some minimum
Right.
discussion by the insurance companies, or the insurance company must point out something.
Okay.
Normally in law, there's something called the rule that the purchaser must beware. If you're buying something, if you're
Right.
buying, the vendor is not
Has
supposed
to
to tell you.
disclose.
Right.
Yes. But maybe there'll be a special good faith rule for insurance companies. Who
I
knows?
hope
don't
so.
know.
I hope so, because a lot of people felt like they were burned somewhat.
It's quite disappointing when you suffer this damage to be told that, well, you were insured for your replacement
Yes.
value.
Gosh.
So therefore, you only 80% insured. You will only get 80%.
I know, especially when persons
less the
probably
deductible on top of that. Yeah.
when persons probably thought that, okay, I could at least feel good that I have insurance, I'm going to get covered, and then when you go in
Yeah.
and
It's a
get
whole
that
nother-
sad news,
Yeah.
I know
So-
people are always, I mean, it's all lessons learned essentially.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then on that note, you guys, we will be right back.
yes,
Pulse VI.
pulse.
VI.
And
We
we're
are
back.
back. We
Yes.
are back. First off, we are back here with Mr. Jack Husbands. And even before we get back to Mr. Husbands, let me just brag a little bit of my shirt today.
Oh gosh,
I'm wearing Inside Out by Desiree Smith.
yes, it's
it's-
beautiful.
yeah,
Oh
so
my
it's-
gosh.
Yeah, so it's a British Virgin Islands with the Virgin chorus through, so which
Yes.
is very funny to me.
Which I have to collect mine.
I know, I'm so happy. We
soon,
love
but
getting
I can't
goodies.
wait. Yes.
So we have certain people on the show who, like the artists or musicians or whoever, they come and
They
bring
bring
us
gifts.
Oh, good.
So we
good.
love presents.
Freebies.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
freebies
yes.
are good. Yeah.
Yes, so Mr. Husbands, you've shared so much information with the public. My God, I know persons are at home saying, I wish I knew that, I wish I knew that. But, at least it's still not too late, because we still have about 10% we say out there that's,
Or more. Could be more, yeah.
Yeah, 10% or more. So there's still opportunities for persons to reach out to the
And be able to,
tribunal
yeah.
if you feel you have a dispute, or,
To settle.
if you feel like you're not being treated fairly, contact the tribunal. So you'll share with our listeners how to reach you guys.
Yes, the Tribunal Secretariat is at the Financial Services Commission building at Passia Estate.
Okay.
It can be contacted by email at insurancetribunal@bvifsc.vg. That's Insurance Tribunal at bvifsc.vg, or by telephone at 494-4190. 494-4190. You can ask for Mrs. Rhonda Hodge-Smith, who
Okay.
is the Secretary of the Tribunal.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Any other information you want the public to know before we
No.
sign off?
I can't. This is the contact details. Your business will be handled with professionalism and in confidence, and you can feel comfortable that the tribunal takes its
Seriously.
takes its duty seriously,
Great.
and will meet regularly and really take the business forward quite expeditiously.
Awesome.
Okay. So my
Okay.
thing is, I'm a very nosy person. So my thing is, I don't understand when people say they retire, because it's like, especially if you've been working. How long have you been in the industry?
And
Before, older than me, probably.
Mr. Husband saying retiring, no.
No, that's what I'm saying. But you've
I
retired.
first got admitted as a lawyer in 1981.
I wasn't even born yet.
Not even. Maybe your parents weren't even born.
My mom was barely born.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, okay. Okay.
So what do you do for fun? Like, what do you do to? Because I guess you were a lawyer. You know, well,
He
you are
still
a
is,
lawyer. I
yes.
should say you're a lawyer.
Yeah.
So what do you do now after doing that? Now, what do you do in retirement?
Well,
I mean, you have the tribunal, but what do you
Yeah, I
do?
sit on tribunal. I also sit as a temporary magistrate from time to time.
Oh, nice.
As well.
Okay.
And I'll resume doing some legal work, not at the same pace
Right, as before.
but yeah, probably from next month or
That's
Okay.
nice.
before the end of the year.
Okay.
I probably
You'll be
resume.
active.
Well, not as active as before, but
right,
I'll still be
yeah.
active.
You still have to somewhat enjoy that somewhat retirement,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, yeah. Maybe I'll write a book.
You've earned it. Why not?
Write a
People
book,
say
yeah.
that-
Write your
They all say they
memoirs.
write a book. Maybe I'll write a book.
They all do it, just like all the U.S. presidents. They all write
Yes,
books after they leave. Yeah.
I don't know who will buy mine though.
We will.
You'll be
yeah.
surprised.
Alright,
Actually,
good.
you will be
We'll have you
surprised,
back
yeah.
on the show to
Good.
Talk about the book,
publicize
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Well, you put me on the spot. I have an obligation now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna
see?
look out for the book. Call it
Yes.
Samuel, not the Jackson.
I love it. I love
I
it.
also just had grandchildren myself, so I feel that I've been sort of taken up in that to some extent.
That's awesome. That is
Lovely, lovely,
awesome.
lovely, lovely.
I'm ready to retire,
Oh gosh.
and I barely hit the mark.
Yes,
Hey.
Goodness mercy.
Just do the right thing and you could do it early. That's all I've been telling my son. Don't do what I did, but do the right thing.
No, nobody wants to stop working. You want to
Not
continue
stop
to be.
working, but just enjoy life in a different way.
Okay,
You know what I
okay,
mean?
okay.
But here's the thing, though: life in a different way requires a lot of money.
That's
Yeah.
why I said do the right. That's why I said do the right things.
Yeah.
Do the right things.
Yeah.
So I'll just stick to my regular job and hope for the best. I'm gonna hope to get to your stature one day and just be like, I'm retired.
done
I can
it.
do all these
Yes,
things now and
yes.
just. Oh my goodness.
Well, don't wish for that because you're wishing to be old fast. Okay?
I feel like I'm already old.
That's
You have
an
no
honor,
idea.
though. That's an honor.
It is.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you,
Definitely.
Thank you.
Well, we thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, especially during this time. You know, we just
Yeah.
had the 1 year anniversary of Irma.
Dreaded,
Yes,
dreaded Irma.
we've came through. You know, we've had quite a few celebrations throughout the territory, and there's a celebration going on this evening at the QE Park. It was actually all day,
Okay.
And there was something
and
happening
it's a
today
free
too, yeah.
event. And tonight it's gonna be, I guess, music, the music and fashion show aspect of the celebration. So
Nice.
today was like the fun kiddie things. They had the plat pole and, you know, a whole bunch of
chain
fun
and everything,
things.
yeah.
So, you know, we're asking the public to just go out and celebrate that we're still here. You know,
Alive and
just be
just, yes.
thankful because it could have been worse. When we looked at what we saw that morning on September 7, 2017,
We thought.
I couldn't believe that we would be here looking at the territory as it is. I mean,
Yeah.
we have a long way to go, but we've come a long way
We have
also.
come a long way.
I remember the flies that wouldn't go away. Remember those flies? Like
No,
you
I just
put a
remember
light
the
on and they were
mosquitoes.
just coming from everywhere. Yes, and it was
I
like,
thought they were mosquitoes.
oh God, they were horrible.
Lots of mosquitoes too. Lots of mosquitoes.
Yeah, it was just too much. I
Yeah,
just
so
couldn't
we
deal.
have a lot to be thankful for, you know, and prepare. Guys, prepare. We don't know what next week is going to bring us, but let's
Get
get
your- yeah.
prepared, get your gears
Better
ready.
safe than sorry. We
Better
learned
safe
that
than
last
sorry.
time.
And if you're not insured,
Get insured.
get insured. Right?
For the proper value.
For the
For
proper,
the proper value. So have an appraisal done, and remember, every 2 years you want to reappraise your property and make sure
And
that
up
you're. Yeah, it's like a checkup. You know, like you
Yeah.
check your body up, check your house up.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Hey.
And you heard that from the man himself, Mr. Samuel Jackson, husband. I
Yes.
think that's such a cool name.
And if you need to reach us, we're at pulsevi.wpe
On all social platforms.
at gmail.com.
And then if you need to reach the tribunal, it's 494-4190.
That's correct.
And then the email is Insurance Tribunal
Yes.
at
At
bvifsc.vg.
Yeah, you
You're
remember
good,
that?
you're
Very
good.
Very good.
Okay, thank you for coming. It's been such an honor.
No, it's a
Thank
pleasure.
you so much.
It's a pleasure. Thank
Have
you.
a great week, guys.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Good.
We be the heart of the VA. Feel the pulse and you will see why. Where I from, we do it B.I.G. On each other, we could rely. Feel the pulse of the VA. Listen close and you will see why. The information will set you free. Stand together, never divide. Pulse VI.